All right, everybody, welcome to our first webinar 2017. My name is Trevor, and I'm going to be hosting today's training. We are actually going to be going over a bit of a summary of some of the things that we've talked about over the course of 2016. And we have covered a lot. If you take a look back, and I'm going to show you some of the trainings that we've done from 2016, we've covered a lot of stuff. And enough stuff that you guys ought to be able to follow along with a lot of the curriculum that's already been created and very successfully get visitors to your website. And most of our clients do and don't have a problem with it and do great. I'm going to talk at some of you guys who maybe aren't doing that quite so well. You've got a website up and you're excited about it, you're ready to market it, and you struggle. You can't get traffic to your site. And you're not sure what to do or what to focus on or what other options you have. So I want to address that. I'm going to talk more at you guys that are struggling, more so than you guys that are doing well. Either way, I think this is going to be very helpful and hopefully provide you with a way to put together a little plan for yourself so you can drive a lot of traffic to your site in 2017. Because after all, I was just talking to one of my clients a few minutes ago on the phone, and we just barely got done with just this beautiful website, gorgeous looking website. There's no doubt in my mind that if they can get people to it, that they'll sell products. But that's often the challenge, is we got to get people to find it. And it's not easy when you're a new site. I understand that. Okay, so you're looking at a YouTube page right now. I have a page that's dedicated to our clients. Okay, this is just for you guys. If you do a search just for my name here, okay, Trevor Shipp, and do a search in YouTube for it. You'll see this really ugly looking dude with a teal shirt. That is me right there. So you can click on my name, and that'll actually take you into my channel. And when you're here in on my channel, usually where you want to go is into the playlists section. And I'm just going to circle that, if you don't mind, so that way you guys know what to look for. Playlists right here. Okay. You guys should be able to find that okay. So you search my name. You come down. You click on playlists, right? We got it? I know some of you guys are like, okay, I got it. Move along. And then you come to this list of this section with some playlists. We're going to be looking at the marketing section tonight, okay? As we have this conversation. All right. So I'm going to click on marketing. Now, marketing, you'll get in, and this was created a long time ago. This whole list started back in 2015. We built it all year long in 2016, and now here we are in 2017. So if you scroll down on this list, there are 83 trainings. My newest ones, the ones we did a couple weeks ago, number 83 and 82 right here. The oldest ones being at the very top. Now, there's not anything here that's really out of date. Okay, there's a couple of things that might look slightly dated. And every once in a while I get a client that says, well, wait a minute, why are you showing me a video that's like a year old or 18 months old? Isn't that out of date? And the answer is, if it's out of date, I'll make sure to fix it. But this stuff isn't out of date. Sometimes marketing strategies on the internet don't change all that much. Sometimes they do. It just depends on the strategy. But all the stuff here, even some of the older stuff, is very much relevant in 2017. So treat it that way. If I give you an older video, don't be offended just because we didn't need to record a new one. Okay, so these are the videos. This is the marketing section. I bring this up to you guys. Maybe I should zoom in on it a little bit so it's easier to see. If I can. Wait, hold on. Hold on. There we go. I mean, that's a little easier, but oh well. That's good enough. Okay, so anyway, Number one is called preliminary keyword research using Moz. All right, so I want, with you guys who have been with me for a while, just if you have a website, okay, and you want to try to get it found online, maybe in social media, maybe in Google, you otherwise want to drive traffic to your site, let's make a list of ideas of things that you could do, things that you guys are aware of right now. I'm just going to call this marketing ideas, okay? Give me some ideas. Somebody walks up to you in the street and says, hey, I've got a new website. What do I do to market this website? What do you tell them? And give me some specific strategies. Don't give me just general stuff. Don't tell them that they need to rank in Google. We already know they need to rank in Google, but how do they go about doing that? How do they get found online? Give me some general marketing ideas. Could be stuff that you know of or stuff that we've talked about in our trainings. Give me some general ideas. You were first, Shelly. So SEO or search engine optimization. Now that can be classified in different ways. I'm going to qualify that, and I'm going to say on-site SEO. Okay, which would entail like what do we want to say? This would be like meta tags, keywords on the site, URLs that are SEO friendly. Whoops. Right? Alt tags, image file names, etc. So like on-site search engine stuff. Okay, and Russell, you just commented on that as well. Okay. And a lot of times that's one of the first things we do, isn't it? Of course, before you can ever even do number one, you need to do keyword research. Okay, so I'm going to put that as number two here, even though technically I guess that should be number one. This is really in no order, though. These are just general ideas, right? Blogging is an idea. Okay. Yep. Like we're talking about, we'll say your own blog. The nice thing about this is you may not love to write or blog. So it's like, great. If you don't, do some of the other strategies. If you do like writing and blogging, then great. This is going to be a very helpful strategy to you. What we do in marketing often in our program is we give you 100 different ways to get traffic to your site, and we let you try all 100 of them. And not all of them are going to work, and some of them are going to work extremely well, and you keep the ones that do and get rid of the ones that don't. Not every business is the same. Marketing in general kind of works the same, but some strategies are going to be better than others for your business. Yes, guest blogging. That's one. Link building. Meaning what? Link building means this, right? Let's say this is my site. Okay, this is my website right here. That means all these other websites on the internet, blogs, forums, news articles, complimentary sites, informational sites. If we can get them to link over to me, right, where they actually put my web address and link over, that's going to help my site rank higher, right? So link building. Of course, I can qualify link building in a lot of different ways, can I? It's not, I mean, link building itself has 100 different ways to do it. I mean, you could link build through competitive link mining. That's through Open Site Explorer. That could be blog commenting, right? That could be Redditing. It could be stumble upon, right? That could be directories. That could be as simple as like asking friends, relatives, neighbors to link their site to yours. You know, these days, or even not even their site, but their social media. Chances are, if you ask a friend or neighbor if they have a website, they may have a blog of some kind. I can almost certainly have Facebook or Instagram or something else that they would be willing to link to you from. Grab some of that low-hanging fruit, I always say. And you know what? I'm just going to say other link building. There's many more strategies than we've got time to list here, but you know that's certainly a big one. How about social media in general, right? So like Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus. I'll bet a lot of you guys are using Instagram these days. Maybe Reddit. We already mentioned StumbleUpon, right? And you might say, I have no idea what a lot of these are. Never heard of some of these. That's okay. Article marketing is one good suggestion. You know, the article marketing is basically where you write articles, post them on article directories, and link back to your site. You can do some of this through something called Hub Pages, easyinarticles.com, etc. You know, we've talked about some of that in 2016. Right. I mean, the bottom line, I guess the list could go on, couldn't it? This is a pretty good list of things. And so I do get a little concerned because sometimes I'll hear you say, and again, I'm not talking to all of you. I'm talking to more of you guys who are struggling a little bit. You'll say, Trevor, I've had my site up for 4 months. I'm just not getting traffic. Something's wrong. Your program's not working, or you know, I'm doing something wrong. And often it's not the program at all, honestly. And I have to defend the program a little bit because what I find is when I dig into what you're telling me about how your site's not getting traffic, I'll say, okay, well, have we done number 1 and number 2? And you'll say, yeah, I did all my keyword research. I optimized all my pages on my site. I'm not getting traffic. I'll say, okay, well, have you done any blogging yet? Nope. Okay, well, you know, here's some trainings to apply that. What about guest blogging? Nope, haven't tried that. I don't like blogging. Okay, fair enough. What about link building? You done any link mining? Have you done any StumbleUpon? Have you done directories? Have you done blog commenting? Have you asked friends? And I find that as I quiz a lot of you guys that are struggling on this stuff, 99 times out of 100, you say, well, I actually haven't really done much of this. And then you wonder why you're not getting traffic. Or, so that's one reason, right? That's one reason. You'll say you just haven't tried any of this stuff. Or here's the other thing I hear. Well, I tried it and it just didn't work, right? Actually, I did directories. I've done blog commenting. It didn't work for me. So then I ask you follow-up questions and I dig into those comments and I find out later that you only did it for like a week and then you stopped and that was it. And then you tried to move on to something else. It's like, I guess we need to create a better sense of what your expectations of marketing here should be like. Marketing for free on the internet. Notice none of this is paid marketing. This is all, this only just costs your time because you've got to learn the strategy and then you've got to take the time to do it. This kind of marketing is a slow burn. And the best analogy I always use for it is it's like going to the gym. And this is very, very relevant for it being January. It's like going to the gym and working out really hard for a week and a half. And trust me, I think we've all done this before. Then you hop on the scale or you look at yourself in the mirror and you think, holy cow, I just worked out solidly for a week and a half. And I actually think I look worse, right? Well, what was I even doing? It's not worth it. It's not working, and then you quit. Is it because exercising isn't actually effective, or did you just not do it long enough, right? I would argue the latter is true every time. And it's the same with this. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You got to do this stuff for a while. If you want immediate traffic to your site, we can help you get immediate traffic to your site. But usually you need to do it through a paid venue of sorts. You need to be paying through Google AdWords and doing some pay-per-click marketing. You need to be paying for Facebook ads. You can run sponsored posts in Instagram or Twitter. You can pay for traffic. But I don't like to have you guys do that because for the most part, you're pretty tapped out by this point. You can't afford to pay for it, or you're just not interested in doing it until you see some return, and I understand that. So I want to make that real clear here. I don't buy into the excuse that you can't get traffic onto a website. We have too many really good strategies for that. Now, to take you back to this section right here. If you're wanting to do keyword research, we've got trainings for that. We've got trainings for link building. We've got trainings for Twitter and StumbleUpon and Reddit. I just want to point out which ones those are and help you make a plan. Okay. Now I've done a webinar like this before, and usually when I'm trying to help my clients make a marketing plan, so I'm going to just call this "Make a Marketing Plan." My first question for you is, how much time do you have to dedicate to marketing per week? Okay. So let's say the answer to that question is 10 hours. Okay. And sometimes I hear that a lot, 10, maybe 10, 15 hours. If that's how much time you have to dedicate to marketing and you're starting brand new, I think this should be your priority set right here. Number one, do your keyword research via Moz. Okay. I'm not going to go into any detail on any one of these things, but I will point out where you can learn about that. So if you haven't done that or you don't know much about that, in our marketing series here, number 1, 2, 3 would be appropriate. So write that down, 1, 2, 3. In fact, I'll write it down here too. 1, 2, and 3. In addition, let's find, and this is why I'm doing this, so that I can kind of lay out where you can get help on each one of these things. Bear with me, let me keep looking. Um, 72. 1, 2, 3, 72. And 82 is pretty helpful as well. 82 and 83. 72, 82, 83. Okay? For this section right here. Okay, then do your on-site SEO, okay? And that would be videos 4, 5, 6, 82, and 83 on our list there, okay? That's where you take all your keywords that you've been working on and you get them put into your site. Those videos right there are going to show you in some pretty good detail how to get them into your site. Once I've done that, if it were me, and now it boils down to preference a little bit, because now we're going to try out all of these different marketing strategies and see what works. But for me, because I like blogging, I would start doing some blogging. And we'll call it content marketing, blogging and content marketing. And you know, in our marketing series here, there's a lot on that. Let me give you a few of the numbers that I would look at. First of all, if you don't know how to blog, there's a section on how to set up a very simple Blogger account. There you go. 19. So I would go like 19 through 25. So let's put that down. 19 through 25. And then I also might do, hold on just a sec. We forgot to mention email marketing. 65. 65, 70, 65 and 70. Be great for this. Okay. I mean, look, some of you guys don't like that. I really love the blogging because I've gotten a lot of traffic over the years from doing blogging. I just think it's so critical. Okay. So that's where I would go. I would get doing blogging. And then I would start doing some link building at that point. Now, link building falls into several subsets here. So I'm going to start with, I would do some directories right out of the gate. So if you want to do some link building directories, those are towards the top here. That would be like numbers, I would do 7, 8, 9, 7, 8, and 9. So we'll say 7 through 9 on directories. Okay. Then what I would do is I would do some competitive link building. This is where you look at your competitors' links and you take links from them and figure out how you can get some of the same links. So that would be like number 10, 26, and 81. Okay. Phenomenal link building strategy. And then I might do some of this. I might do some blog commenting, which is 15 and 16 specifically are really good for that. So I'll put that down here. Guys, I know this is kind of boring for those of you guys who aren't at this spot. I would imagine it's kind of boring if you're not here yet, but I'm telling you right now, this will outline for you a really good marketing plan. So you can learn how to do this and then apply it. And all the while, like while you're doing it, you don't have to do things to completion to see the benefits. And in marketing, there's not a lot of do until completion. There is a little more when you're doing your on-site SEO, your meta tags and stuff. You can get that done. But if you're in the middle of that assignment, number 2 there, you can get traffic as you're doing it. You don't have to have it done to see the results. So I've gotten a few of you over the years that get to number 2 and you get so bogged down by it and you're so overwhelmed by it. Do you think you're never going to get your site going? Well, it is going. Your site's already launched if you're doing this stuff. You're just trying to get traffic to it, and you can get traffic all along the way. Let's see, what else? Oh, article marketing is one. See if I can find article marketing on this list. Yeah, 75. I'll just do 75 specifically. 75 is great for that. Okay. 5, we'll say maybe some social media stuff. I would do some Twitter stuff for sure. You might not know much about Twitter. Maybe the only thing you know about it is President-elect Trump uses it a lot, right? Is Twitter a powerful medium to get your message out? Yeah, ask the incoming president, right? For good or for bad, it's still powerful to get a message out. It's extremely powerful for marketing a website. I would say 31 through 34 on Twitter. 31 through 34. We don't have a lot of Facebook training in here for some reason. I do have one in particular. For some reason, I always neglect Facebook. Facebook is number 71 here. I'll spend some more time on that this year. Reddit is one that's also good for link building as well. So the Reddit trainings are 56. Hold on. 56 through 59. Yeah, that's a good section for Reddit. 56 through 59. I mentioned one called Stumble Upon. Another great social type site. Stumble Upon is number 60. Okay. I would also consider doing email marketing. Email marketing is later in this list because it's very difficult to do without some of these other things in place. So 62, I think 62 is the only one that we have. It's kind of a high level one. So I'm going to say 62. Right, you see all of this right here, guys? Like we have a workbook here of marketing stuff that you can do, and you should be applying all of this stuff. And if after a period of time you decide that directories isn't really yielding great results, then we stop doing it and we allocate whatever time we were dedicating to directories and we put it into something else. So back to my initial point, if you've got 10 hours to dedicate to your marketing per week, and most of your 10 hours should be to get done number 1 and 2 first. Like really try to get that done first. And then after that, you can split it up amongst all these different strategies. And if you don't feel like one is working, then stop dedicating so much time to it and switch time over into another one. Now, let me ask you guys a question. How do you know if a marketing strategy is working or not? That seems a bit vague, doesn't it? How do you know? What if I've been doing directories for months? How do I decide if it's actually working or not? There's two ways. Okay, well, these are the first two that came to my mind. Maybe there's more ways than this. Yeah, one, are you getting traffic? How do you know if you're getting traffic or not based on a marketing strategy? Google Analytics. We won't talk about it right now, but you need Google Analytics installed onto your website to show you how much traffic you're getting. And you can use analytics to show you where your traffic is coming from. So if I'm looking at my Google Analytics and I'm getting 500 people to my site a day, I can break down that 500 number and see which marketing strategy is allocating X number of visitors per day to my site. So that's one way. Two, are you getting links? Okay, so directories is interesting. This is an interesting topic because if I'm submitting my site to directories, I may not be getting traffic directly from that. And that's okay because I'm just trying to get the links, and links produce higher rankings in Google and get me traffic that way. So sometimes it's not just traffic and I say, yes, this marketing strategy is working. Sometimes it's how many links am I getting produced from a certain marketing strategy, because the links help me rank better. Okay. I'd say those are the best ways to evaluate that. And then over time, you know what? None of this matters unless what marketing strategies are getting me sales, and you can evaluate that a bit later. I guess I'm talking more to you guys who are startups right now, because I know a lot of you guys are who are here in attendance today. But that's how you can evaluate it. Now, where does paid marketing work into all of this, I think paid marketing is extremely effective if you do it right. Right? It's like if you walked up to me and said, Trevor, if you pay me $1, I will give you back $1.25. Would I be wise to accept that deal? Of course I would, right? I'd hand you $1 all day long if you'll give me $1.25 back. That's the principle behind paid advertising. If I can pay $100 in advertising and get $200 in revenue and over $100 in profit to pay off that cost or whatever, then that was that was well worth my expenditure. So, well, I would anticipate this year we'll talk a little bit more about paid advertising. We didn't do a lot last year, but I think I've got more of you this year that would probably be interested in it. So we'll have a greater discussion on it. What kind of expectations should you have for when traffic should come to your site? Now that's probably the question I get most often. The answer is I don't know. Okay, and that's not a cop out. I wish I did know. I wish I had a crystal ball and I could say, hey, if you work X number of hours and you do these specific type of marketing strategies, you will get this amount of traffic. I don't know. And it would be immoral of me to say how much traffic you would be getting. All of this stuff works. Like these are marketing strategies that if you hired any marketing agency, they would, they'd be applying a lot of this same stuff. But how quickly is it going to work and how much traffic are you going to get? I don't know. And the biggest reason for that is the main variable here is you, right? How many hours are you really going to work on it? If you tell me you're going to do 10 hours a week, how much of those 10 hours is actual marketing work and how much of it is I was on the computer, but I marketed that day for 2 hours and spent 6 hours goofing around on the internet, right? Or you're struggling to understand a strategy and you're just not applying it very well. Or you don't stay consistent with it, right? The big variable is you on this whole thing. And trust me, from my stance, I've been in your seat before and I've tried to market a business and I've done well and I've struggled at times. So I can relate. I know exactly what you're going through, but don't point the finger anywhere else. Our program's not the problem. If that's what you think, then I'm going to invite you to take a look in the mirror and really ask yourself if you're doing everything you can, if you're doing what we suggested here tonight. I'll bet you're not, right? And I don't pretend like our program is perfect, right? We're evolving and improving. Over the years now, I think we've serviced somewhere in the neighborhood of 35, 40,000 clients since this company has been in business. On a personal level, I've serviced somewhere in the neighborhood of 3,000 clients over my entire consulting career. So I've seen a few things, and I can honestly tell you it's mostly you as the variable. But if you don't feel like you're getting good enough help or you're not really sure how to do some of this stuff, please let your coach help you, and we want to be a part of that. But we also need you to meet us halfway on it because nothing good here comes without you actually working. I can't magically get traffic to your site, but I can help you through a little bit of effort here. So I'd invite you to do these things, really take a good look at what you're doing. And then the last thing I'd invite you to do is come to our Thursday marketing trainings and interact and get help. All of these trainings I was showing you before here, these were all recorded at some point or another on a Thursday night. We've always done our marketing trainings on Thursdays. And so, my clients who consistently come and learn, they get a lot more out of this than my clients that don't. So there it is. I mean, I'm shooting straight with you, right? There's my honest take on you putting together a marketing plan. No excuses this year. If you're struggling, then this webinar was for you. You need to apply yourself and do some things differently. And if you don't know where to start, guess what? I just provided you with a pretty good game plan here, right? I mean, this is it. All of you guys are capable of doing what I just laid out here. if you're doing this and you're really still struggling with understanding some of the principles, then let your coach help you out. And we will. We have skin in the game too. I mean, we can't afford you guys not to do well. To those of you guys who are currently marketing and doing extremely well, on a positive note, pat yourself on the back. It was hard work at first, working and not seeing a lot in return, but as you've done it over time, you've seen the fruits of your labor. So, continue to do new marketing strategies. We'll be teaching new marketing strategies this year. Continue to link build, continue to improve your Google rankings. It's worth it over time. It definitely is. All right, so let's finish up. I'll take a couple of questions if you guys have them. Really, we should finish up because I've been droning on now for 40 minutes. So if you got a question, go ahead and ask. Otherwise, we'll finish up and we'll reconvene next Thursday. So I'll be quiet for a sec. Ask any questions you have, and then we'll go from there. And actually, I think I'm going to turn off the recording so this doesn't end up too long. So we won't have the Q&A on the recording. That's okay. Hopefully this was helpful. If you are watching this recorded, get to work. You've got your work cut out for you. And we'll take questions after I turn this off.